Thank you for attending the Week of Kindness. Coming up next is another powerful, impactful, amazing speaker. Get your notepad out, get your pen. Let's get ready and enjoy.
Hey everyone. Oh boy, do I have a surprise for you. And I love it because this woman is kind of my hero. She's amazing, she's beautiful, she's gorgeous, and that's just a little bit of it. What you guys don't know is that Tina Lewis is a two-time presidential lifetime achievement award winner, and she's a recipient both of those awards was in 2022. So I can only imagine what she's going to do in 2023. She is a 10 times international best-selling author. She holds a doctorate of philosophy. Tina, I am so impressed with you already, and I didn't even need to hear all that, but I do love the fact that you're creating a movement that just kind of walks right into the week of kindness. So you have, gosh, you're a CEO of your own company, this Royalty Coaching. It's a strategic marketing and global positioning firm. But what I really know you for is you are a certified global speaker, dominating both the business and stage internationally. Your platform, which I love, is Global Women Speakers. It's a membership community that positions speakers not only on stages, but also around the world in magazine covers, billboards, paid and complimentary opportunities. You have, from what I understand, you've met like everybody. You've mentored on Meet Billionaires. You know Oprah Winfrey. I'm having too much fun. Richard Branson and you sold. You're one of the few that I know that comes on a stage and you can sell $100,000 in one talk. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone, I want you to give a big hand, lots of kisses, lots of hugs to Tina D. Lewis. Hello, Dr. Tina. How are you?
Hey, Tony, OMG. It is such an honor to be here. I am humbled. This is the week of kindness with the Tony Kaufman. Now, ladies and gentlemen, and you may have been invited by one of the speakers, someone that's working behind the scenes that's making this production happen. But if you do not know Tony, do me a favor, go and follow her right now on LinkedIn. Go and find her on the Easy Way Wall of Fame. Go and find her on social media platforms. But more than importantly, I want to share with you that she is Googleable. Googleable. Google. Oh,
Googleable.
I need that over to you, even if that's a word, right?
I've never thought of myself as the Googleable, but one time I was sitting with Jay Passett, who was my mentor at
Right.
one
It's a
time.
tongue twister.
Yeah, and I said, okay, Jay, let's see how many hits you get. And like in a quarter second, he got like 3 million something, and then I went, see, and then he says, okay, let's do you, and I was like, 0.24 seconds, had like 7 million hits, and he goes, what are you doing that I'm not doing?
Yes, absolutely. We all want to know that, Tony. What are you doing that we are not doing or should be doing, right?
Yeah, and Dr. Tina, the first line of my profile on LinkedIn says it all. It says, how can we serve you?
Wow.
That's it. I don't even have 10 time off. I don't have any of that stuff, but I do have what do you need that we can help you with, because that's what this is all about. And you're a master at that, Dr. Tina. I've been watching you. You've grown exponentially. Now you hit your first 100K like what, in 40 days or something?
Yeah, yeah, like 45 days. Yes. After leaving medicine, I actually became an entrepreneur and I created my first six figures in 45 days. And I can't take full responsibility for that. I had a mentor who grew his company from zero to $1 billion in only 5 years. And listen, if you do not have a mentor, I want you to watch this week in its entirety. They're going to be powerful, phenomenal speakers that you can be attracted to, that are magnetic, but most importantly, that deliver results. And if anyone resonates with you, I want you to connect with them. I want you to stock them down like they are your dream, because that is absolutely the best, right? That's amazing.
So, Dr. Tina, what I've asked our behind the scenes staff to do is once I let you go, I know you're going to create miracles here. So I'm going to turn over the stage, give you a virtual hug and say,
Yes.
everyone, you got to listen, man. This lady knows what she's talking about.
Thank you, Tony. Hey, hey, hey. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're coming in from. I just want to share a story with you. Well, there was this young girl. It was ridiculous, right? Her story is insane. She was actually a product of an affair, and she had this issue where she felt abandonment. She felt that she wasn't good enough. So she always overachieved. And she had to be number one. And she didn't know how to do it any other way. She would just dominate and crush. And that was her way of saying, hey, I'm here, I'm present, see me, acknowledge me. And I just remember that she was got pregnant at 18 and she had her daughter at 19 years old. She lived in a project, she was on welfare, and she's even been to prison. Like, it was unbelievable just knowing this story. And so many things happened. Her mom was in a near fatal car accident. For 3 months, she was in a coma. And during those 3 months, it was really difficult, right? At Thanksgiving, when all the other kids were around the Thanksgiving table with their family, passing turkeys and hams, pumpkin pies, and that German chocolate cake. She was actually being escorted to the hospital to see her mom and just simply being thankful that God had spared her mom's life. The same thing for Christmas, when all the other kids were ripping apart those gifts, exposing their favorite toy, those easy bake ovens, those electronics, those games. Her and her siblings was actually being escorted to the hospital to see their mom. Her mouth was wired. She was in a coma. She didn't even know that they were there. But that was their Christmas. And they were just grateful and thankful that their mother's life was their gift. I am Dr. Tina D. Lewis, and that is my story. I am she is me. And even through all of that, all of those things, I stand before you today as a graduate of the University of Southern California Keck School of Medicine. Well, I received a full academic scholarship. You see, because what happened to me at 10 years old in the 5th grade, it caused me to develop some attributes where excuses are not an option. The excuse department is closed. There are no excuses. Because of those attributes, because of that trying time, it caused me to be hungry, like The Les Brown says. I was taught that the best way to reach success was through the hands of education by my mom. And so I didn't seek, I didn't run after, I literally chased down education. And it did not stop with traditional education, it seeped over into personal development. And so I had to become the person that deserved the acknowledgement, deserved the praise, deserved the $1,000,000, deserved the influence. And most importantly, deserved to be influential and make an impact. And on this week of kindness, I have one question to you. One question as of right now. Would you prefer to be acknowledged as being nice or being kind? Think about it. Don't answer right away. I want you to truly think about it. Would you prefer to be considered nice or kind? Because there's a difference. And we're going to come back to that question. But I want to share with you that despite getting pregnant at 18, despite having my precious daughter, who is my world, at 19 years old, despite living in the projects, yes, where you looked out the window, you looked into someone else's living quarters, to watering dirt because there was no grass. Nothing grew there, not even the people. It was non-arable. to simply being on stage with the Donald Trump, our former president. And listen, it's not about what you think about him as a president. This was before presidency. But what I do know about him is that he's a shrewd businessman, and I'm not here to argue. I'm just giving you my personal experience. He was the first billionaire that I was able to have contact with, who poured into my soul, into my spirit, who gave me life. And so, from being on stage with Donald Trump, meeting him personally, to spending time 15 minutes with Oprah Winfrey at an event, it was photo op time. And I was like, I don't want the photo. I just want your time. And I can tell you it's the best 15 minutes that I've ever spent in my life. But my most favorite is going to Necker Island with Sir Richard Branson, with the business chicks, Emma Isaacs. I was on that island for 7 whole days, maybe 6. And I can tell you, I can still smell the island, the water. I can hear the palm trees. I can see each intricate gravel of sand that's on the beach in front of my room. My favorite part was when I was on the island and I was doing a video, and I'm talking to Facebook. I'm talking to my social media world. And I'm saying how I am enjoying myself on this island. And guess who video bombed me? You guessed it. The Richard Branson. He comes around and says, hey, Tina is going to go to space. And her smile is going to be beaming down. And I go, hey, this is your island, but my video. And so I share that to say that it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Whoever counted you out can't count. I need you to put that in the chat if you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching live from Facebook or LinkedIn. I need you to put whoever counted me out can't count. Write that down, put it in the chat, put it up on your mirror, on your refrigerator, put it in your pocket. Whoever counted you out can't count. And I know without a shadow of a doubt, statistically, I should not be here. And when I say here, I don't just mean on this stage with the Tony Kaufman of the Week of Kindness. I don't mean on Necker Island. I didn't mean on stage with Donald Trump. I mean here being physically present. The environments and the things that I have endured would normally lead to this type of lifestyle. But ladies, you do not have to become a victim of your environment. Men, you do not have to fit in because you were born to stand out. And so I love sharing my story. And at one point, I was embarrassed. Do you think Dr. Tina D, and the D stands for diva, so you don't forget? Do you think I would want to tell someone after I'm, driving in my Tesla SUV with the Falcon doors? Do you think Dr. Tina D, who lived in Marina Del Rey in a penthouse, do you think I would want to tell someone that I actually lived in the projects and that I was on welfare and that I had been in jail? No, I was ashamed. But ladies and gentlemen, woo-hoo, watch out, because I'm telling you, you see my glory, but you don't know my story. And the same for you. I want you to become unmuted, unashamed, and unapologetic and share your story. Do you know why? It is so much bigger than us. We are just conduits. We are purveyors. God only gives it to you unless he can get it through you. And your story is a way to get it out. Whether you're going to inspire or motivate, encourage, impact, set the captives free. Whatever your goal is, whatever your story, because it was put inside of you. You don't have to go looking for it at all. It's there. every single thing that you need is packaged in compartments, and it's there. All you have to do is choose which package you want to portray, because you have a story and the world is waiting on you to deliver. We are waiting on you, and put your name in the blank. We are waiting on you to deliver, unashamed and unapologetic. Unashamed and unapologetic. And I want you to go and watch some of this live on YouTube. I want you to watch it live on YouTube. You can watch it on Facebook, on LinkedIn, but go and watch this. And if you are not watching this live, it's okay. I want you to go and catch the replay. I want you to be undistracted, because what I do know is there have been some dynamic speakers that are giving of themselves freely as an act of kindness to perpetuate you, your brand, and your business, and your bank account. Make no apologies about that. No apologies about that. To catapult you, your brand, and your business, and your bank account, and your relationships. Because some of us are wealthy because of those. I know I am one of them. And so I begin to share my story. When I became unashamed, when I became unapologetic, when I was clear on my mission, when I was aware of my tribe, when I knew without a shadow of a doubt that somebody was waiting, when someone was waiting on what I had to offer, when people would come up to me afterwards and say, "Oh my gosh, that's my story. Oh my gosh, that's me. Oh my gosh, you just told my story. Oh my gosh, but I don't want to tell anyone. I'm embarrassed. I'm ashamed." And I said, you know what? I was too. I was too. Afraid about what people would think about me, how they would feel about me, would they change their perception of me? And then you get to a point where you do not care. You do not care. Because the reality is you're going to be talked about anyway. So why not have them share your story? Because I promise you, when they're sharing your story to defame you, to embarrass you, the person that's receiving is going to be changed and moved. Because listen, people pay for information, right? I mean, they don't pay for information. They can find information on Google, they can find information on any website, but people pay for transformation. Speaking of transformation, I literally paid for my transformation. I paid for my transformation. My first time investing in myself, I spent $6,000. But wait, I didn't have it. Just like I didn't have it to go to Necker Island. But I invested my first $6,000 in personal development. There was a gentleman who is a hypnotist. He's incredible. His name is Marshall Silver. And he had a program called The First Million. And he told me from stage, told all of us that he would help us create our first $1 million. How many of you desire to be a millionaire? And it doesn't have to be monetary. How many of you want to be wealthy or be rich indeed in your relationships? That was me. And so when he said that, I wanted it so bad. My hands, my palms began to sweat. Tears began to roll down my face because I knew I didn't have it. But I went into the hallway, hands shaking, crying, and just thinking, how was I going to get $6,000? At the time, I didn't even have 600. Matter of fact, my account probably was negative $60. A lot of people wouldn't tell you that, but I'm telling you because I want you to know that no matter where you are, it is not too late. It is just the beginning, because it's not over until you win. It is not over until you win. And so I went in the hallway and I began to literally call and cry and call. And I called from A to B to C to D. And I continue to call through the alphabets, begging, asking for $100 here, $1,000, $50, whatever they could give me. And I continue to get, I'll think about it. I'll let you know. Let me call you back. Those things. I began to get those things, but I did not stop there. I continued to cry, but I continued to call. And I can tell you, ladies and gentlemen, when I got to the letter P, I have a mentor. He's incredible. When I got to P and I said what I needed, he said, sure, no problem. But I didn't hear that. My ears were not fertilized to hear yes. They were fertilized from A to N and O to hear no. I'll call you back. Let me check. Those are the things that I heard. So when I heard yes, I continued to beg. And then eventually I'm telling him how I'm going to pay him back. Hey, I'll pay you $1,000 a month. I can pay it for this way or that way. And he said, Tina, stop. And I'm saying that to you. Stop. Stop begging. Start attracting. Start asking, how am I going to make this happen? And so when he gave me his American Express card and I was able to enroll in that program, that I was able to be coached and mentored, it didn't just change my business, it changed me. Remember, people don't pay for information, they will pay for transformation. That's what this week of kindness is all about, being transformed. Because there's what are some synonyms that you would say that go along with kind? What are some synonyms for kind? Generous, hospitality, sympathy, benevolence, compassion, courtesy. Those are all synonyms for kindness. And you see, being nice is an action. But kindness, ladies and gentlemen, is a movement. And so I want to petition you to be kind, but globally. And as I was sharing, me investing that $6,000, that it changed me, I began to be kind. I received kindness, and so I regurgitated that kindness. I reciprocated that kindness. And so being asked to speak and to share my stories on different stages, first locally and then in other states, nationally, and then really globally. So what I did, ladies and gentlemen, I married the two things that I love the absolute most: speaking and sharing my story, because I love to empower, to equip, to educate. I love to be that catalyst that will cause someone to say, you know what, it is not over. It is not over. Because ladies and gentlemen, you can stop at any point in your life and say, this is not how the story is going to end. This is not how the story is going to end. And at any point, you can change it. And so I created a movement called Global Women Speakers. Global Women Speakers. And it is a professional organization, membership-based. It is the #1 platform, in my humble opinion, for women entrepreneurs to share their message, their products, and their services literally around the globe. Our next step is Paris, March 8th and 9th, and I personally invite you to join us. Go to globalwomenspeakers.com, complete the intake form, and then you'll get an email. I will love for you, ladies. I am petitioning you. And men, I want you to support your women, your sisters, your moms, your friends. I want you to be kind to every single woman that's going through something. Because here's the deal. You see this smile? 3 weeks ago, my nephew, my favorite nephew, 30 years old, collapsed, fell to the ground, rushed to the hospital. to be told that he didn't have not one, not two, but three aneurysms and that he needed immediate brain surgery or he was going to die. I still had a smile. I still got up. I still delivered. I showed up for my tribe. I showed up for my clients. People were depending on me and are depending on me to help them bring their dream to fruition. I can't quit on them. I can't quit on them. And so I'm going to ask you, ladies and gentlemen, to exude, portray, give mercy, give favor, give hospitality, give forgiveness, and also forgive yourself. That is the state of kindness. And so I say, is global kindness, is it a myth or could it possibly be a movement? Is it a myth or could it possibly be a movement? And I have partnered with Tony Kaufman. I have partnered with Easy Way Network. I have partnered with each and every speaker here that's committed to global kindness. And no matter where we're speaking, because ladies, I can tell you our itinerary is bananas. It's insane. I'm talking about Paris in March, Madrid in April, Dubai, Greece, Croatia, and so many other ways. So many other locations. What is that location, that destination, that landmark? Where's that place that you want to go, that one place? And I understand some people can't travel. They have obligations, small children, spouses, special need children. I get it. I understand. So guess what? We're hybrid. You can be here with us virtually, if not physically. Who doesn't want to go to Paris? Who doesn't want to go to Madrid? What about Greece? I can tell you my experience with Greece. I went island hopping. Yes, teenage mom, welfare, Greece, island hopping. I went to Athens, Santorini, and Mykonos, and boy, did I have a blast. Cooking classes, language classes. Those are just some of the things that we do as part of Global Women Speakers. But not only do we go there and we speak, we engage into the culture and to the people. And we're adding acts of kindness. So we're going to volunteer. We're going to give food and clothes and things no matter where we go. And so I would like to invite you to join us, a group of women who are not like-minded, but like-hearted. The four C's of Global Women Speakers is culture, community, communication, and collaboration. And with that being said, I would love to collaborate with each and every one of you, but I want you to join me on the challenge to kindness. And I want to leave you with this saying. It says, it's one thing, listen, it's one thing to be taught kindness, but it's another thing to feel it. It's another thing to be touched by kindness. I'm going to repeat that. It's one thing to be taught kindness, but it's a whole different thing to be touched by it. And with that being said, my name is Dr. Tina D. Lewis. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Back over to you, Tony.
You know what? That's one heck of a story, Dr. Tina. I loved it, and I absolutely adore you. All right, so we're going to be promoting. I see a joint venture in our future with some affiliates.
Awesome.
And I'm so proud that you are on our stage. Week of Kindness, folks. We're coming up to the half hour. Yes, we're past. Stay tuned. We're going to be back to the next speaker in just a minute, and then we've got.
Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be mind-blowing. Thank you, Tony, so much. I appreciate you.
Thank you so much. God bless, Dr. Tina.
Yes.
Wow. I hope you enjoyed that just as much as I did. Thank you so much for all of that great information. Hey, we're not done yet, so just relax. We're going to continue on with our next speaker in just a few moments.